Hi everyone, this is Dov Hershkovitz from the pipeline authoring team in GitLab, and this is a 14.1 kickoff video. As always, we do have a planning issue. The planning issue is located underneath the pipeline authoring group, issue number 21, when we can read all about the content of this iteration. But let's go over the highlights of this version. The first goal is to implement some of the most popular customer requests. And this is, I think, by far the most popular one, which is allow me to refer to a job in the same stage. I like to call this issue stageless pipeline. I spoke about it in several occasions in the past, but for those of you who need a reminder, basically, with the introduction of the needs keyword, we created a dependency. We can create a dependency between two jobs that a job can run after the previous job is completed, regardless of the stage they're at. And this help our user to speed up their pipeline by not considering or ordering job only by stages, but also by job dependencies. This is a very popular keyword and very popular use case that our users have adopted and really like, but it has one limitation. The limitation is that we cannot have the needs dependency between jobs that are on the same stage. So in this issue, we want to drop this limitation and allow users to define the need relationship or the need dependency between two jobs in the same stage. Basically, it will enable user to create a pipeline without a full pipeline with dependencies, without stages at all. And this is something that our user would like to do. This is why this issue is quite popular already. Yeah, you can see more than 220 upvote. So we've done some work in the previous iteration, and I have high confidence that this issue will actually be completed in 14.1. So stay tuned. The second issue is also a popular issue, more than 50 upvote, although unlike the previous one, but 50 upvote is pretty high. And it's pretty simple. Having a conditional include, it's a simple requirement, but it has like several interesting use cases. So we'll start with the syntax. The syntax is, again, it's simple. We have the include keyword, which with the include keyword, you can include the whole pipeline configuration on a job, but we want to add the rules keyword or the rules conditions. And if a specific condition is met, then we will include this file in this job. And basically, it will help our pipeline be much more dynamic than they are today. But more than that, there are like really specific use cases that our user would like to have. One of them is to allow organization to create a single pipeline entry and then allow user to always include their specific configuration or specific actions in that pipeline. So it will enable standardization, but allow user to also customize their pipeline. Also, there is a use case where users would like to create a shared library of primitive that will help developers in including those in their pipeline configuration based on different conditions. This is exactly what this issue can do. You can read more about those use cases here in some of the comments that we have from our users. By the way, it will also help the compliance team with some of the work that they are doing with compliance pipeline. So really looking forward for this issue to be implemented and get feedback from our users. The next highlight of this milestone is to enable the branch selector and the pipeline editor. Basically, the branch selector will allow user to work not from their main branch, in the pipeline editor. Today, pipeline editor support only working from your master or your main branch. And again, this is an issue that we've worked for several iterations, but we found several blockers. You can see it's issue number 3 and number 4 that prevents us from releasing this feature. So hopefully, once we'll get those resolved, we'll be able to release this one for our users. And lastly, and this is an MVC for adding templates to the pipeline editor. Templating is a work that we are planning to embark in the coming quarter. And when Nadia will speak about the scope of work for UX, she'll talk more deeply. She'll go more deeply in the work that we are doing on the template. But this is a mere MVC. Right now, we don't have anything that is related to template in the pipeline editor, and we know that the pipeline editor is your one-stop shop for creating, updating your pipeline, and we know that template is something that will help users get started with pipelines and CI, and we are lacking that. So the MVC is quite simple. It's just to add a single button that will redirect our users to our templating library. So in the single file editor, we have those drop downs, and those drop downs doesn't provide a lot of help, because what they actually do is they override your pipeline configuration. And we've noticed that most of the users like to skim through the pipeline template and then copy paste those into their obviously include and copy paste those into their pipeline configuration. So this button will open a pop-up to the templating library where user can scroll and search for different templates that we have, and then when they look at the template, they can simply copy paste it into the pipeline editor. We are also tracking the telemetry of number of clicks that users are clicking on this button. This is where we can determine if this is something that the user would like to do. And as I mentioned, our hypothesis is that users would like to start working with templates before they even start creating their pipeline. Yeah, more into this issue and the success metric for the telemetry we are collecting. This is it. I'm going to pass it over to Nadia. She can talk about the scope of work for UX. Thank you.
Hey, everyone. So I just wanted to highlight some of the top priority items for UX 14.1. In 14.1, I will be continuing my work around the vision for CI/CD templates, usage and creation for large enterprise organizations. So we want to explore solving such problems as enforcing templates across projects in our organization, having centralized pipeline creation tools, so allowing you to create a library of your own custom CI templates and creating an easy way to distribute them across all of the projects in your organization, things like that. So it's a pretty big effort that was started in 14.0. Where I've conducted some competitor evaluation, gathered some interesting insights around how some of our competitors are solving these problems. And currently, Dove and I are also running a problem validation issue to learn more from our customers about how they're currently solving these problems and what are the opportunities for us there to provide a better solution. So here are some of the questions that we'll be asking, like how do you ensure standardization of CI/CD workflows currently? Who's responsible for creating those templates? How do you ensure compliance and all kinds of things like that? So once we get answers to these questions and gather more insights, I'll be working on visionary mockups for this feature set. So I'm really looking forward to that and can't wait to share the vision with everyone and start iterating on it with the team. Another big effort will be continuing solution continuing solution validation for the pipeline graph. So after we implemented the job dependencies view, we've gathered lots of feedback around the job dependencies view. And some of that feedback was quite straightforward, but some other problems were not as black and white, and we need some additional insights around that. We need to better understand how we're going to prioritize all of those follow-up issues that we created and what those solutions exactly should be. So I want to use this opportunity to follow up with some of the people who commented on our async feedback issue. We got lots of feedback from our current customers. So I want to actually get on a call with them and ask additional questions. And I also want to generally gather more insights around pipeline visualization, like what are the different types of information you're looking for, when, why, how do you troubleshoot your pipeline architecture to optimize it, and what is the information that you're looking for at different points in time as you go through this process. So these will be the major efforts that I will be working on that will help us really improve the user experience for architecturing your pipeline, making it more efficient, and also for creating a more standardized standardizing the workflows across your organization. So all of that will hopefully help us create more reliable, more efficient pipelines. I will be also working on some of the other things that are carryovers from 14.0, but I already covered it in the previous kickoff. So if you want to learn more about that, you can check that out. Yeah, thanks so much, everyone, and back to Dove.